Okay, Mayor. Chairperson, we're live.
Now we're
Okay, ready?
Okay.
Ready?
Okay. Good evening, I'm Mayor Pam Hansabeck, Chairperson of Glen Cove Industrial Development Agency and Local Economic Assistance Corporation. It is Tuesday, November 14th, and we are holding tonight's meeting in person at Glen Cove City Hall in the second floor conference room. This meeting is also being live streamed and recorded. Let us call the meeting to order at 6:03 p.m. Will the secretary please call the roll?
Dave Jimenez,
Here.
John Fielding,
Here.
Grady Farnan,
Present.
Jim Capiello,
Here.
Vice Chair Hartley,
Here.
Chairperson Panzenbeck.
I'm here.
Tom Hopkey regrets he was unable to attend tonight.
Okay. I make a motion to approve the minutes of the IDA LEAC meeting held October 10th of 2023 and ask for a second. Motion seconded by Vince Hartley. Are there any questions about the minutes? Will the secretary please poll the board?
Dave Jimenez,
Aye.
John Fielding,
Aye.
Grady Farnan,
Aye.
Jim Capiello,
Aye.
Vice Chair Hartley,
Aye.
and Chairperson Panzenbeck.
I vote aye. Motion was carried. Will Ann Fangman please provide the members with her executive director's report?
Good evening, everybody. I do have a report, but before I get into that, and I may defer that report to the end of the meeting, we do have the villas with us tonight, specifically Glen Cove Villas LLC, right? And some of their ownership partners and their council with us tonight. They have some updates for us, and I'd like if we give them 5 to 10 minutes to give us those updates.
Terrific, thank you. Dan Dornfeld for Chell Deacon Corona. We were here, I think, at the last meeting, and we discussed some of the items that caused this project maybe to stall a little bit, and now it's going very rapidly with a lot of upgrades and heavy on investment. So we just wanted to make sure, as we discussed last meeting, the progress we're making and the changes in that. We are requesting the extension. I understand maybe we can do the short-term extension to the time that we can do a longer-term extension. So I'll introduce my client. I appreciate you hearing us now. Tell you what improvements and what has been done since the last meeting.
Yeah, good day, everyone. My name is Dale Wolfer. I'm one of the project managers there on site. Just want to give you an update of what we've done so far. We've done quite a bit of soil removal. We've done about 30,000 yards of soil so far, which is about 14,000 trucks. We did move some rocks off of the site, about 10 trucks of rocks. There was some debris from the previous demolition that we found in the ground because we're excavating. Tires, garbage, and so forth. That's been removed, about 4 trucks of those. And some organic waste from brushes and trees, another 4 trucks of that. We excavated most of the soil from the south side, which when you guys drive down, you can see the big hump there. All that's pretty much gone. The lowest elevation we are at this point is about 43 elevation. So we're down, let's say Glen Cove Road is about 50 elevation. 55 elevation, right at Glen Cove Road at the entrance. We're down to about 43 elevation, just to give you guys an understanding of how far we are down. We've built a road going to the north side, on the eastern side, all the way up to the back of the site, just to get our piles, the drills ready for drilling on that side. So that road has been built, so most of the dirt has been staying there just to build that road. If you go past by the site, you'll see a road all the way to the back, going up in the eastern side of the north side. There's some pictures we have. I guess we can do a presentation in the next meeting. We can show you guys. A couple of the vendors, the consultants we're working with is Wexler, who does the structural design. We're also working with M&R, who's doing the civil. They were the original vendors that were on before, and we consulted with them to move forward with us. And we also have Salas O'Brien, who's doing the geothermal engineering for us. In fact, one of the previous geothermal engineers that worked with you guys on the Glen Cove Hospital project. He's the same engineer that's working with Salas now, and he's also representing us for the geothermal. He just mentioned that last week. And we also have the SOE engineers, which is MRCE. They're one of the biggest in the country. That's also working with us. We brought them on board to do all the SOE shoring for the site. And we can update some pictures, like I said, when we do the next presentation. I'll show you guys the result. We did do some lagging, which is to hold the soil back on the Boys and Girl Scout side. We went down about 20 feet, but we dug in sections, lagged, and put back the dirt, just so we can prepare the site. So when we do remove the soil from there, we can do all the tie-ins to support it. That's about it.
So things are moving forward.
Do the board members have any additional
Any questions? Anybody have any questions, comments? It's kind of hard when you drive by, you can't really see.
Yes, I
Unless the
understand.
fence up, we can peek it when you're driving, it's hard to see, but we do see evidence of movement.
We do have some sky view pictures for you guys. It's just like we weren't able to show it, but we do still have some aerials as well.
We can be all set up for you next time.
No problem.
Question, any of these contractors you mentioned are any of them Glen Cove companies?
No, I believe there's only one contract.
We are committed to meet that. The work that's been done has been very specialized, so the intent and the plan is to hire local contractors.
And our groundskeeper, Carlos, he lives in Glen Cove. He's been with us on the project for 3 to 4 years, just maintaining the everything.
When you submit your quarterly workforce reports, please be sure that you pick up these folks in those reports, because that's what I'm looking at quarterly. Was tasked with that, 2021. My understanding from Millen is that we are going to chat between now and the next meeting, but it seems like we're gonna have either a revised amended application asking for more sales tax and mortgage reporting tax assistance plus a long-term extension, or just a request for a long-term extension. We will determine that. Does sound like, though, there was a budget change for the project, which we also need to memorialize, even if you're just asking for the sales tax extension. We'll figure that all out.
Understood, and I think that was that sent to you?
The
Budget, the new budget?
Yeah, in a letter form. So, and with a suggestion that the board look at additional financial assistance.
Right.
So the question is, are you looking for an extension or additional financial assistance? The extension is fairly easy. Please recall that the board authorized and your short-term extension, we've now done that.
That's
but-
up. I think
Right.
that's up by the end of this month.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we thought we were going to talk about a long-term extension at this meeting. Since then, we learned that the budget has increased dramatically, and that you might want additional financial assistance. So we need to resolve which way you want to go.
Understood, and we're not certain at this point. The budget has increased and the amount of borrowing has increased. We're not sure if it's necessary to get additional financial incentives because we're not sure what the tax impact will be, sales tax impact, and what the mortgage reporting, if there'll be an increase in that. So it may be that we're just going to absorb those additional expenses and not request any additional assistance from the IDA. We will know that shortly, but we would ask for the short-term extension to continue into the next meeting.
Well, then we are gonna have to do a resolution tonight because I'm only authorized to give up to 90 days, which I have at this point.
It's been 60, 90.
It's been 90, because
Okay.
we did 60 and then we did an additional 30.
Okay, so you're asking us tonight to authorize a 30-day extension of the sales tax. And then presumably in December, you'll tell us whether or not you want a long-term and/or additional financial assistance.
Yeah, we're definitely going to want a long-term, but we don't know if we'll want additional financial
Okay.
assistance.
Let's try to get that figured out as soon as possible, because
Sure.
even with the request for the extension of the sales tax alone, we've done due diligence for that in the past. So we want to make sure we have everything ready to go
We'll
then in
make sure you
December.
have everything,
Okay.
absolutely.
Is there a
All right.
commitment for the financing? Obviously, the pace is
Yes.
not, because the city has not approved it yet. But there is a written commitment? Okay. Can you send that to me?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we need to ask you, Chairperson Kanzenbeck, to make a motion to I guess it's add a resolution to tonight's agenda, correct?
Sure, and we can do it orally, but it's to extend the sales tax exemption expiration date for this project until, my shift would be, let's say until the end of the year. Right? Because the thought would be in December, they would come with either and or a long-term extension and or additional financial assistance. We'll have looked at the committed letter and have some more information for you as to what the timing is likely to be long-term.
So I make a motion to add a resolution to extend the sales tax exemption to the end of the year.
For Glen Cove Villas
Glen
LLC.
Cove Villas LLC. May I have a second? Vince Hartley.
And then does everyone need to vote on adding the
And-
resolution?
Yeah, that's the second to add the resolution. All in favor of adding the resolution? Please.
Right, to the agenda.
Did that wrong.
No, you did it right. You got a second from Vincent, and now we need to ask
I
everyone
want to
else.
ask everyone to vote. Okay. Okay, wait a second.
We usually go
Will
through
the
the roll.
secretary poll the board?
Yeah, Secretary pull the board.
Dave Jimenez.
Aye.
John Fielding.
Aye.
Grady Farnan.
Aye.
Jim Capiello.
Aye.
Vice Chair Hartley.
I vote aye.
And Chairperson Panzerbeck.
I vote aye. So that was to add the resolution.
Correct.
Now, I make a motion to extend the sales tax expiration date for
Glen Cove
Glen
Villas
Cove Villas
LLC.
LLC through the end of the year. May I have a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please poll the council?
Dave Jimenez.
Aye.
John Fielding.
Aye.
Grady Farnan.
Aye.
Jim Capiello.
Aye.
Vice Chair Hartley.
I vote aye.
And Chairperson
I
Panzerbeck.
vote aye. Okay, that was good.
Okay,
There
thank you
you
very
go.
much for coming
Terrific.
tonight.
Thank
We'll be in
you.
touch. Thank you.
And we look forward to the
Oh,
next meeting.
and, your name is Dan?
Dale
Dan,
Wolford,
can you spell your, what's the last name?
WOOLFORD.
Oh, just like it sounds.
And could you send what you mentioned tonight in an email?
I do have it, I can send it to you.
Okay,
What
thank
is
you.
your email?
Or you can send
You
it to.
said-
Send it,
Yeah,
send it,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then we'll all get in touch with each
No
other,
problem.
okay? Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
So I apologize, that was not part of our agenda, but it was necessary. Would you like me, Chairperson, to give the rest of my executive director report now?
Yes, can you
Okay,
please
okay.
provide us with your executive director's report?
Let's find that. Okay. So Janet Lane Fair Housing Development Corporation, it's status quo from what I reported last time, all counts of Great Bays, the new management company. They are exploring the rebuild with the Fair Housing Development Corporation Board, but they've still not made a decision. I did have a conversation with their counsel, Peter Mora, over the phone, who confirmed to me he is still acting as their counsel and that the board has not yet made a decision as to the rebuild. Of course, if the board decides not to do the rebuild, they will again have to come to the IDA board and present a request for a waiver not to rebuild the duplex units on Dixon Street. And I did give an explanation to the new management company as to the pilot agreement and the pilot invoicing because the finance department sent out their, the new management company's first invoicing for the project. Moving on to TDG 5 School Street. The paperwork for the equity ownership transfer was signed by the IDA and I believe handed to Millen Tyler tonight. He will be consolidating that with TDG's executed documents and getting us back the closing binder.
Hopefully by the end of the week.
Perfect. Thank you. 50 Glen Street, which is the U Office Flex Workspace. The prior pilot expired. The owner is preparing a revised IDA application for financial assistance. Millen Tyler submitted comments back to the applicant on the draft application. It was October 27th. I believe you're still waiting to see that. When you get that back, I will also review this next round, and then hopefully it will be ready at that point to go to the IDA board. But I don't foresee this coming to a preliminary resolution likely till the new year, probably early in the new year.
theoretically possible for December, but obviously we're, you know.
We have to
planning it quickly.
review and
Yep.
it's,
At the rate it's going, I think I can.
okay. And then Garvey's point, I had actually circulated a letter that was provided to the planning board earlier today to the IDA board members. You can let me know if you have any questions on that. But last Thursday, the planning board voted to close the public hearing for RXR's 2023 PUD amendment and approve the PUD amendment pending written decision, which is the planning board resolution. UniCap is still in the process of updating the bond revenue projections last completed by SBS at the closing of the bonds in 2016. Analysis of the future taxes for Block F, which are the future affordable condominiums, continues with the city assessor and SBS. Preliminary calculations were provided to the developer, Georgia Green Ventures LLC, for review. Millen and I have been involved with this as well. We don't have any final documentation yet, but I just wanted to tell you that it's in process. Because as you may recall, with the master tax agreement, affordable condominiums are at otherwise applicable taxes. So what we're trying to do is ascertain what those otherwise applicable taxes may be so that the developer can give the state, who is funding the majority of this project, the assurances that this can be an affordable project for the future homeowners. Okay? And then finally, we circulated the ribbon cutting for the Georgia Green Ventures affordable rentals, which are finally occupied. We have many of our Section 8 voucher holders there as well. That's going to take place this Thursday, the 16th at 12 p.m. And we hope that all of you can join us at the community lobby at 700 Dixon Street. Does anyone have any questions?
No.
Okay,
Comments?
thank you. I know I talk fast, so,
We like that.
okay.
So will Margot Zodesi please provide members with her finance report?
Sure. Good evening, everyone. For the IDA budget to actual for the period of January through October, the total revenue is $210,000 compared to the annual budget of $289,000. Included in the revenue is escrow revenue for $141,000, interest income for $12,000, and other revenue for $57,000. The $57,000 includes admin fees and consent fees. In terms of the expenses for January through October, the actual compared to the budget, the total expenses are $292,000 compared to the annual budget of $289,000. Salaries and benefits incurred are $132,000 compared to the annual budget of $156,000. Professional expenditures incurred are for $157,000 compared to the annual budget of $128,000. Professional fees include accountants, legal, and escrow professional fees. Note escrow expenses included are for $141,000. Other expenses are for $3,000 compared to a $4,000 budget. Other expenses include office expense, copier, and admin. Thus, there is a year-to-date operating loss of $82,000. Does anybody have any questions for the IDA? If not, I will continue to the Local Economic Assistance Corporation. Please note there was no change from the last reporting period of January through September. Total revenue is $52,000, total expenses are $56,000. Thus far, there is a $4,000 loss. And please let me know if you have any questions.
Margo, quick question.
Sure.
The year-to-date operating loss of $82,000 for the IDA, should that be reduced by $13,000 if the revenue increased by $13,000?
I actually did the math. No, that doesn't.
That doesn't change?
No.
Okay. Right, and keep in mind that that's all based on project closings. So some years we have a lot of project closings, other years we don't have as many project closings. So it's our best guess, you know, for the year as to what we're going to collect in project fees. But if certain projects are not ready yet, or don't close, or don't come to fruition, that's where we might look at a loss in one year, while another year we might have a surplus of revenue that was anticipated.
And actually, just one other note on professional expenditures. That went, I guess, over budget due to the escrow expenses. The expenses incurred, the revenue comes in, it's paid right out. So we had budgeted 110, right now we're at 141. So that's why professional expenditures are over budget.
And you know what, thinking about that, that might be due to some of the expenses related to what we're looking at in terms of Garvey's Point and some of these other analyses that we may not have been anticipating beyond the normal waterfront and Village Square legal fees and.
Right.
Yeah. But that's all reimbursable by the developer of the project.
Okay.
So
So
good
that
point,
is it.
thank you.
Does anybody have any questions? Okay, let's move on to this evening's unfinished business, which is PR storage pilot arrears. At this time, I request a motion to go into executive session to discuss the credit history of a particular person or firm and to seek legal advice. May I have a second to go into executive session?
Second.
Motion is seconded by Vince Hartley. Will the secretary please poll the board?
Dave Jimnez.
Aye.
John Fielding.
Aye.
Grady Farnan.
Aye.
Jim Capiello. Vice Chair Hartley. And Chairperson Panzina.
I vote aye. So that motion was carried and we are entering executive session at 6:24 PM. Will the secretary pause the recording of the meeting? And I'm going to close the door, okay?